It's fascinating how we often connect through our hobbies and interests, right? Take cooking, for instance. When you step into the kitchen, it's almost like embarking on a science experiment, but with flavors. You can mix and match ingredients, and sometimes you end up with something incredible, or, well, a total disaster. I remember the first time I attempted to make pasta from scratch. It was a complete mess. Flour was everywhere, and the dough I created looked more like a brick than anything edible. But, that's part of the fun.
Oh wow, that sounds like quite the adventure. I've never tried making pasta from scratch. Isn't it super hard? I mean, I can barely boil water without burning it. Do you have any tips for a beginner like me?
Absolutely. The key is to start simple. You don't need to dive into the fancy stuff right away. Just grab some flour, eggs, and a pinch of salt. Mix it up, knead it, and let it rest. It's like giving it a little nap before the big show. And if it doesn't turn out perfectly, just remember that even the best chefs have their off days.
Haha, I love that! So it's like cooking is a journey, not just a destination, right? Speaking of journeys, you mentioned you enjoy reading a lot of fiction. What's your favorite book?
Oh, definitely. Fiction is such a great escape. One of my all-time favorites is The Shawshank Redemption. It's not just a story about prison, it's about hope, friendship, and resilience. It really makes you think about how we can find freedom in our minds, even when we're physically trapped.
Wow, that's deep. I've seen the movie, but I've never read the book. Is it really that different? I mean, I've heard that sometimes the book is way better than the movie, right?
Oh, for sure. The book dives deeper into the characters' thoughts and backgrounds. You really get to understand their motivations and struggles. It's like peeling an onion. Each layer reveals something new. And speaking of layers, have you ever tried reading a mystery novel? They can be just as gripping.
I haven't really gotten into mysteries. I mean, I love a good plot twist, but sometimes they can be a bit too intense for me. Do you have any recommendations for a beginner?
Absolutely. I'd suggest starting with something like The #1 Ladies Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith. It's lighthearted, charming, and the main character, Precious Ramatsue, is just delightful. It's a cozy mystery, so it's not too intense, but it still keeps you guessing.
Oh, that sounds fun. I love cozy things. Do you think it's important to have a balance between intense and lighthearted stories? Sometimes I just want to escape into something that makes me laugh,
Definitely. It's all about balance. Just like in cooking, you need a mix of flavors to create a well-rounded dish. Too much of one thing can be overwhelming. And speaking of balance, how do you find time for your hobbies with everything else going on?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I feel like I'm always juggling things. Sometimes I think about how, I could just quit my job and become a full-time pasta maker, but then I remember I'd probably just end up with a flour-covered kitchen and no money. How do you manage your time?
Haha, I love that idea. But yeah, time management is key. I try to set aside specific times for my hobbies, like cooking or reading. It's like scheduling a date with yourself. And it's important to prioritize what makes you happy. Life's too short to not enjoy the things you love.
That's such a great perspective. I think I need to start scheduling my fun time. Do you have any other hobbies that you're passionate about?
Oh, absolutely. I also play the guitar. It's such a great way to express yourself. Music can evoke emotions that words sometimes can't. I remember the first time I played in front of a crowd. My hands were shaking, but once I started, it felt like magic.
Wow, that's amazing. I've always wanted to learn an instrument, but I'm not sure where to start. Do you think it's too late for someone like me to pick up the guitar?
Not at all. It's never too late. Just think of it like learning to cook. You start with the basics, and over time, you build your skills. Plus, it's a great way to connect with others. You could even join a local group or take lessons. It's all about having fun and enjoying the process.
That's so encouraging. I think I might just give it a shot. What's your favorite band? I mean, do you have a go-to song that always gets you in the mood to play?
Oh, I love the Beatles. Their music is timeless, and there's always something new to discover in their songs. Here Comes the Sun is one of my favorites. It's so uplifting. It's like a warm hug on a cold day.
Oh, I love that. I've always been more into Coldplay. Their songs just hit differently, you know? It's like they capture all the feels. Do you think music can really change our mood?
Absolutely. Music has this incredible power to influence our emotions. It can lift us up, calm us down, or even bring back memories. It's like a time machine for our feelings. And, speaking of feelings, what's your favorite art style?
Oh, I really love Impressionism. It's so dreamy and colorful. I feel like it captures moments in time, like a snapshot of life. Do you think art can tell a story?
Definitely. Art is a powerful form of storytelling. Each brushstroke can convey emotions and experiences. Just like in cooking, where every ingredient tells a part of the story. It's all interconnected, really.
Wow, that's such a beautiful way to put it. I never thought about it that way. It's like everything we do has a story behind it, right?